So when you download this guide, this is what you're going to see when you go, and it is kind of designed as a two-page guide. So in here is all the things that are covered in the guide. These are all the changes that impact SBOSS, specifically in the 2.26 upgrade that has gone on. So in here, it literally tells you, by the way, this is how you can reach our illustrious Gabby in case you need to reach SBOSS support. It's right here in the booklet in case you get lost. But it goes through how to do what we would consider a dropship member pay or a one-time member pay. And it walks you through screen by screen on the website how you would do this on the actual Shackley site. So it's going to go all the way through on how to access account, if that doesn't make sense, how to request access to manage a member's account. These blue links, by the way, are clickable. So if you click on it, it jumps to the section how to request a member's access to a member's account. So we try to make it easy if you're trying to find something quickly in here to kind of jump around and get to the areas that you need to that are relevant to you. So as you go through, it talks about how to do a drop ship, how to do inventory orders, how to make that easy for you, drop ship company pays. What specifically did you want me to show, or did you just kind of want me to go through these sections?
Just to go through these sections and show where they can find the information that probably is going to answer a majority of questions.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of go through this fairly fast because it's a large guide, and the guide is here for you to review at any time that you'd like. If I'm going too fast, please by all means slow me down, and someone can call it out on the screen and I'll slow down a little bit. But when we do dropship member pays or one-time member pays, this is essentially now just an MDO. So once you log into Shackley, you're just going to go to your My Business tab and then hit your action button, Team Search, and locate the member that you wish to do the dropship member pay for. You can look by their member ID, their first name, the last name, or parts of it. It's a smart search, and it's going to show you the member IDs have been blurred out in the document, but it's going to show you the information that you're looking based on your search. Just click on the name of the member that you want to do. It will pull up their profile. Once you've gone into their profile, on the right-hand side under contact information, you will find a button that says Access Account. You're just simply going to click on the Access Account button. However, you see we have a pro tip for you here. If you only see a green button that says Request Access, you need to ask that member for access, and there's some screen showing you what steps your member needs to do in order to grant you access. You might want to keep this guide handy in case you have contacted someone to request access to be able to walk them through on their screen what buttons to push, because we've got screenshots that you can look at and you're going to see what they're going to see in order to do that, and then pop it up and down. That's great. Otherwise, we're going to assume for a moment that you've drop shipped to this person or you manage auto ships for them and you already have access to their account. So you're going to click on that button and it is going to take you to the website, and notice that it has a dark green bar across the top and the name of the person whose account you're accessing, and that big red button as well. That's how you were alerted that you were in someone else's account instead of your own. So when you're managing someone else's account, you are as if you were logged in as that person. You have full control over that member's account. So you can change your phone number, you can change your address, you can change your email, you can place an order for them, you can do an auto ship for them. It's almost as if you had their username and password and logged in as them. It's the same level of access that you would have as if you had done that. So you can come in here and then go into their cart. And so I use the shortcuts in here because the quickest ones for us, assuming that we know these kinds of things. I don't actually need to go into the shop and look for the products because I know what they're called, or I happen to know what the member number is. So if you go into the cart, right at the top of the cart is a little area called Quick Shop. So if you know you just want to send them MindWorks, you can start typing MindWorks. It's going to show up right there. You can click on it, change the number of quantity that you want. Say maybe they want 2 bottles. and then hit add to cart, and you're ready to go and finish checking out to them as if you were them. And that's going to download later within 4 hours maximum into your SBOSS program as an MDO. So that's a drop ship one-time member pay. You can choose to pay for it if you want. Don't save your credit card to their profile, but that's going to download into your system if you'd like. When you're done doing that checkout process, you then hit the big red button that says return to my own account, and you will go right back into your profile as if it was you, because you're done managing someone else's account. So again, once completed, the order will automatically download as an MDO on the next time you do your update, and all PV will be applied to the member as usual. No further actions needed. If you're doing a drop ship one-time company pay, this is where things are a little bit different in the system than it was before. So if you're purchasing product for someone else, you're going to log in like we talked about before if you're not already, and you're going to add items to the shopping cart as if you were ordering for yourself or for your inventory. Okay? If you are ordering for your inventory, there's a little link here that shows you how to do an inventory report, because automatic inventory ordering, for those of you who use that, no longer works because you can't send that order into Shackling anymore. So instead, you're going to print out the report that gives you the items that you need to order, and then you're going to come in here and add them directly to the shopping cart, again using that quick shop. So the way we order in our office here is we have a list of items that we want to order to, and we have those item numbers in there. So we could just type 2066, quantity 4, add to cart. Then we come back in here and say item number 21318, which is the single cleanse. I want 2 of those, add to cart. Or I could type in Vita C, or I could type in Vital. It's going to give me the list to pick from. You add your quantity, add to cart. So this is the replacement for the quick shop in the old website, where you used to have line by line that you could enter them in. You're going to add them in here under quick shop in the shopping cart. You don't have to have anything in that shopping cart to begin with. Just click on the cart button at the top in order to access it. Okay, so once you've added everything that you want in here and you're ordering it for someone else, then on the checkout screen, you're simply going to add a new address. In that address information, you're going to put who you want that product to be shipped to. So in this case, I want to ship to Kathy Keating in Pleasanton. I'm going to put in Kathy Keating. I'm going to put in the corporate home office. I'm going to fill out all this information. And this is a one-time order. I'm doing it as a favor for her. If it's someone that I drop ship to often in the old system, I want to save the address so that all I have to do is go to my address book and look up Kathy Keating in my address book and just select her address so that I don't have to type it in every time. So if you drop ship and pay for orders frequently, save their address, make it easier for you in the future. If you're just going to do it literally as a one-time drop ship, you don't have to save the address. Label on the box and all the paperwork in the box will show that it went to Kathy Keating and that address. It will not reflect pricing. So even though you're paying DP or whatever pricing you happen to pay, it's not going to show money on the invoice at all, only a pick slip. So if you're ordering for inventory purposes, obviously you don't need to go into anyone else. You don't need to select another address. You simply click next and continue to check out. So again, shipping label will show the name and address you entered in this step. No invoice will be included in the package, only a packing slip. Complete the order as usual, however you're going to pay for it. You pay an account, pay with credit card, however you normally pay, you're going to continue to do that. If you simply wish to send product to someone and pay for it, you're done. All the PV will be yours. If you're ordering for your inventory, you will get that down in your, these will all come down into your CSC, by the way. All that PV will be associated to you. If you are purchasing that product for inventory purposes, once your inventory has arrived, if you haven't done so, download your MDO CSC orders. In SBOSS, you go online, and you're going to download the MDO CSC orders like you would normally do. SBOSS downloads MDOs, and then when you click close, it will download the CSCs. SBOSS now updates every 4 hours or less, and you can download your recent MDOs and CSC orders without waiting the next day for them to download. So if you're doing an order that you want to maybe get in the mail today, in the morning, you could drop ship to that person, generate that invoice anywhere from 2 minutes, depending on where we are in that automatic update cycle, up to 4 hours, and still be able to download and get that invoice out today into the mail. So you download your CSCs, and you just click on your CSC module and look for the order with your name on it, or it may say Shafi Distributor as it does in ours. You receive it as normal and add it into your inventory if you're looking to add it to your inventory purposes. I've done that before. You receive inventory in SBOSS. Don't track your inventory. You don't need to do that. It's not a required step. It's only for people that track their inventory. So if you have inventory levels, you need to add that inventory to your inventory to keep your inventory accurate. Then you would need to receive it in inventory. If you don't track your inventory, like we don't track it in here, you don't need to do the step. You don't need to receive it. So again, your inventory was received as before. All of your PE is yours. None of those things have changed. If you don't know how to do that, here's a link to the section of that. What if you purchase the product at your price, but you want to invoice that product in SBOSS at whatever price you like? So SRP, MN, DP, SN, whatever your pricing happens to be. You still go in and purchase product for someone else, and you download your orders. That's the same as before. Now what you do is you come into your CSC, and you find the order that you want to create the member order from. Under the ship to name, it will show the person's name, or it might say distributor. It's probably at the top of your list. You simply you highlight the order that you want to create the invoice for, and then you click the shopping cart button in the CSC window in this area. You can click the shopping cart button up at the top, up over here. It's going to take you out of the CSC module and into your member order module. So what we want to do is we want to create an order from something that we drop ship to somebody. So before, you created the member order, you chose drop ship, it created the CSC. You might not know that it did that, but it did. And then it printed out both of them for you. Now, you do it online, it downloads the CSC, and you create the member order from the CSC. So you get the same functionality, it's just in reverse. But you can still track all those drop ships, and you can still invoice people at their pricing. Again, highlight the order that you want in the CSC once you've downloaded it. Then click on your shopping cart button in here, like I demonstrated on the screen earlier. And this Trudy, who has not been received here, it popped open the order for you, and it contains all of the order information in the other screens for you. You don't have to do all those extra steps. You can either use Trudy's name, or in this illustration, you can change it to someone else's name. Whoever you choose to bill for this order, they're going to be charged their price, and you're allowed to change that pricing to different pricing like BP or SN if you want to. Okay? So maybe that person normally gets retail, but you're offering a special to them and you want to give them member pricing for that one special order, or you want to give them distributor pricing for that one special order. You can do that and change their pricing here and invoice them at the price that you wish to. Otherwise, it defaults to whatever pricing that they are assigned in the chat system. So it automatically changes the price from what you paid for it to what they're going to pay for it. And you can update the price category on the screen. You can also, by the way, give an order discount of, say, 10% or 20%. You have a special going on and you want to do that. Any changes you make on this screen are not permanent to the member record. It is for this order only. So it doesn't stay. It's just this order. You then click Next on your screen, and it will show you the inventory that is in that order. The inventory is not editable. Whatever you drop ship to that person is going to show on the screen. You cannot change pricing in the screen. You cannot delete items in the screen. You cannot add items to the screen. It's exactly what you drop ship to them. So make sure you drop ship to them what you want on the invoice and don't add extra items. If you need to, say, charge them for a different item, you need to create a brand new member invoice in the member module, in the order module, not in the screen. Again, you're going to click next again past the inventory like you normally would on an MDO, and it's going to bring you to the standard payment screen. This is the Shackley shipping charge that was charged by Shackley for that shipping. It's automatically populated. You can change it if you wish. You can charge them no shipping if you want, just by zeroing it out. You could take $5 off the order if you wanted to. You can do any of those kinds of things on the screen, but there are 3 screens that are editable: shipping, handling, adjustments, and applying payment. You can then charge their credit card for $31.80 in this case, change it to their credit card, do whatever number of copies, save and print. You've got your copy of invoice, and then you mail them their receipt that they paid their pricing for on that invoice. All taken care of for you. All you have to do is enter the member name, enter the payment information, and you're done. It's a lot of talking for 2 steps.
I think that's great.
Now, when you're done with that, it's going to mark that as being billed in your CSC invoice, and it's going to give you your member order number in the screen. Don't worry about it if the previous orders in there don't say billed when they've been drop ship company paid. Don't worry about that. It didn't go back and change all the old orders. It's from this point moving forward. So how you can tell is that the older orders that are in here that you did do drop ship for is they will already have an MO number in there. They'll have a member order number populated. It just will not say billed. Don't worry about that. Only from this patch forward where they will say billed if you have created an invoice from it. Once again, that applies the PV to the member, and it's inventory neutral when you do that. So you don't have to worry about whether you've received product and taken product out of your inventory because you generated an invoice. Doing this process makes it inventory neutral, so it does not impact your inventory if you're tracking your inventory at all. It takes care of all of that for you. If you wish to bill people, obviously it's the same as before. Just leave the payment information blank and save it. It will show that they have an AR balance. You can handle that as normal, send them the bill or whatever they normally do. Then down below in here are the subsections like how to request access to a member's account and those kinds of things that we called out earlier. If you don't know how to do, they're in here. So again, I'll run through these just really quickly. To request access to a member account, you see in here in this case that this person we don't have access to Jeannie Woodfin. We hit the request access button. It's going to send them an email that looks like this. This is what the member will receive when you request access to their account. They're going to have a big green continue button on their email. First thing that they need to do is click on that continue button. They need to log into their system. So here's a little bit of trouble if it's their first time. They need to reset the password just like you did. They need to log in using their email address that you received that email to. It's going to take them to the member's profile. By the way, in your screen, you're going to see pending approval. So we're waiting for the member to say yes. If they didn't get it, you can resend the request by clicking this link here if you need to. Once the member logs in their profile screen is where they need to go. This is where it's really handy to have the guide to walk them through what they need to do in order to grant you access. So under Business Leader Access, they now need to click on the Edit button right there. So there's a couple steps they need to do. When they click on that Edit button, they are going to get an Edit Account Access Permissions. They need to click I accept to allow the business leader to access the account. Then they need to click on Update. So there's a few clicks that they have to do in order to grant you access to their account. They can take it away anytime they want, but it's a process. They have to kind of reverse what they just did and do I decline. And then that turns off your access. So if you gave someone access and they say, I don't want them to have it anymore, they go into their profile, they go into the business leader access, and then they say, I decline and update, and it turns off the business leader access to their account. Okay, same way they turn it on, they can turn it off. Once they do that, the button will then say access account. It's automatic, and now I can manage their account and do the drop ships and manage their auto ships and take care of them from that point forward as long as I've been granted access, which in most cases is forever and ever and ever. Moving forward, how to generate an inventory report in SBOSS. For those of you who use inventory and use the automatic inventory reorder feature in SBOSS, that feature no longer sends orders, just like the MDOs and drop chips no longer are sent. So you may need to print out a report in order to help you do your inventory ordering. So in reports, inventory, and inventory requirements report. In there, you're going to go all inventory items, and which do you want to order it to? Your minimum quantity on hand or your maximum quantity on hand that you have set up in your system. Then select all. In other words, I want all the inventory items I need to do a report for, and then on the third step, I'm going to click print. So it should do the red arrow, green arrow here, blue arrow, and what order to click those in. All the items to my minimum quantity on hand for all categories, print it. That's going to print you a report that has your item numbers, the name of the products, and the order quantity that you need to order in order to bring that back up to your personal designated inventory level. If you do not manage your inventory, none of this is necessary. You can disregard this. But if you do manage your inventory, the easiest way to do that is to generate the report and use that report in the quick shop in the store in order to do that order for your inventory in a kind of easy step-through way to do. That way you're not trying to go, oh, I don't know what I need. How many of what do I need? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Here's your report, just like you would do before. Now you just need to type it into your quick shop in the online store. If you've never received inventory in your SBOSS, it's easy. Go into your CSC module. Again, if you don't do this, you don't need to, but if you forgot, maybe you want to. You come into CSC, you highlight the order, you click on your Receive Order button, and you can either acknowledge it, say yes, and click Next and clear your way through it, or if you have things back ordered, you can mark the back orders in this area over here so that you're accurately reflecting the order that you have received. If you want to print a copy of a CSC module for any reason, in CSC, you simply need to highlight the order that you want to print out and hit the print button. It's that easy. So here's our closing comment. New retail-only customers will also download as MDOs and be given member numbers. They're not currently members. Currently in SBOSS, they will look like a member, but they will have their pricing set to SRP. So it'll say member with a member number, but their pricing will be SRP because they're technically not members. We've made a request to create a category in there that says non-member, but that request got in too late to be included in the update. So in future updates, we should be able to designate non-members as non-members so that we can see them in our list as who's a member and who's not. But in any case, they will have their pricing set to SRP instead of command by default. So stay tuned for the rest, and that's the entire 35-page guide as quickly as I can go through.
Thank you. That pretty much covers the entire process. Kevin, you did such a great job of really making all of this, easy to follow, but I think also, writing it and putting it out there in language that these SBOSS users who've been using the program for decades are going to understand.